Hi everybody, welcome back to Kaelie's Reads. Um, Today we're going to be going over my reading prompt, my TBR jar here. And if you've seen, I'm going to be starting a TBR game in January of 2025. Um, and I already tried to film. I did read I read the prompts off that are in the jar last night and posted and recorded it and posted that video. But because it was so dark, I was going to leave that video up. But also, because I had more prompts. This is not all the prompts that I have for my jar. I actually have a bowl full of prompts. Let me grab it. Because once we read all these prompts, I'm going to go over to the bowl and start adding those into the jar. I have this bowl here, which, if you can see, is full of prompts as well. Um, Now, all the prompts are laminated. Some are longer than others, and some are because they're long. Some are longer because they have explanations at the bottom. So I will dump these out of the jar. Well, not, yeah. I will empty this jar and read these off first, and then I will read the new ones as I add them to the jar, because instead of me having to replace reading prompts or come up with new ones or replace them every couple months, I'm just gonna hopefully try and add them all into the one jar at once. So, and hopefully I don't lose any in doing this process. And I'm gonna set the jar off to the right hand side of me so it's out of frame. Um, One thing I did want to say before I start reading these, um, is I will be adding, you guys can comment prompt, new prompt ideas on both this video, and if you saw my video that I posted technically yesterday, but last night slash yesterday for me, um, you can leave prompts on both that video and this video, and I will copy and paste them into a document, print them out, laminate them just like I did these, and then put them into my jar at some point. I don't know when I will print them out, but you guys can leave prompts on those videos which are in my TBR game playlist, because I already have a playlist for the game, but none of the videos in that playlist are of me actively playing this game, because I'm not starting it until January of 2025. Okay, so let's get to reading the prompts. A book with a preposition in the title, and it gives some examples here, parentheses, and I do have a, this may be hard to see because of the lamination. Um, Excuse my hair. My hair is just sitting weird behind me because I'm in recliner, so don't mind that. It's bugging me just as much as it's bugging you guys, if you guys can see that. Um, but it does have an explanation down at the bottom, and it says, see link, see link in a certain doc, and that is because I have um, a document with links to articles or different things for different prompts on my computer. So if I ever pull one of those prompts, I will just screen record, and then you guys will see which one I pick. If I don't find one that I already have on my Kindle. Next one is a book featuring or specifically about one of your other hobbies besides reading, such as cooking, hiking, gardening, sports, knitting, etc. Hold on just 1 minute, guys. I'm gonna see if it is my cat door. And if it is, then she's just gonna have to wait a minute. And yes, I can see because we have a Ring doorbell, so I can just look on my phone and see. And yep, it sure as heck is my cat. That is scaring the ever loving crap out of me every time because she jumps up on her hind legs and grabs a hold of our door handle. Luckily, she hasn't opened it yet, but she grabs a hold of our door handle and um, then gets lets falls down and lets go of it, so it springs back up and freaks everybody out in the middle of the night. Um, to the point where if anyone new is staying with me to help take care of my needs is not when my mom uh, goes and does something that I don't want to go with her to do. Um, we literally have to warn everybody and say it's just if the door handle jiggles, that's what we call it. We it's just the cat. That's what we have to tell everybody. Anyway, let's get back to the prompts. This one is a book that's been on your TBR the longest. I'm not gonna read the stuff in parentheses, but it basically tells me it doesn't have to be a book I I own. So it can be a Kindle Unlimited book or anything along those lines. And I am going to first turn on the TV for background noise. So sorry if you guys hear that. I have it on as low as it can go so I can still hear it. Next prompt is a book you own that's been on your unread shelf the longest. So this is basically the opposite of the prompt I just read. So this one says it has to be a book that I own. Next is a book at least 700 pages long. That was a tiny prompt, so it was hard for me to hold them. And some of these are cut really weird, but it's okay. A book published in the last week. This one is a book you think will make you cry. And again, I'm not going to show these on screen unless I'll show them when I actually start playing the game. But since I'm just reading them, I'm not going to show you guys all of them. Like, turn them and show them to the camera because that will make this go longer. And we have basically two piles to get through. A book with mostly green on the cover. Okay, we've got a few here. A format outside your comfort zone. For me, that would be a print book, actually, because I mainly read audio and ebooks. Um, and a if you want a list of the prompts that are in my um TBR jar, I will be putting them in a list on my sorry on my blog at some point. I don't know when I will get around to doing that, but that is where they are going to be hosted, or you know, where they're going to be living for you guys to, for the public or you guys to use. And you guys can just copy and paste them into a document or however you want to do it, and then you guys can just do, use them however you want to. Once I get them on my blog slash website now, because it holds everything book related, not just my um. It just doesn't hold my YouTube videos. I don't repost my YouTube videos to my blog like some people do. My blog is just for anything that I read or create to do with reading is housed on my blog, which is always linked down in the description in the link tree link. Okay, this prompt is start the first book in a new series. This one is a holiday novel. This one is, hold on, let me turn it so it's not upside down. Read the last book someone recommended to you. And then this one just says recent purchase. So this one, also, sorry, my cat scared me again. This one I will probably just read the most recent books that I purchased. This one is a book with less than 300 pages. Okay, we're gonna read this. I have quite a few here. This one is a book recommended to you more than once. A book with mostly yellow on the cover. A book recommended by social media. Sorry, I'm not holding them in front of my face anymore because my hand is not liking that whole situation. I just have a pile of them in front of me out of frame, I guess. Is the best way to put it. Read this one. A book that has an even number of pages. This one says a romance book. Then we have pet pick. And then we have buy a new book. So I'll just, some of these are prompts for books that I have to read or to choose books. Some of these are self, I'll call them self-care prompts too. This one, these say random number. So I'll probably just have a random generator pick a certain amount of or pick a number between a certain amount. Between, I'll have a random generator pick a number, and then whatever number it lands on, is the book. I have to go on Goodreads and figure out book, what book is that number, and then read that book. Nonfiction, a book between 321 pages, or 321 and a book between 321 and 456 pages. Big book, greater than 500 pages, or more than 500 pages. Let's get these. T- Title that begins with X. This one says random letter. I think that's all of them that used to be beside me, but we'll find out. Lowest rated. So I have to go on Goodreads and find the lowest rated book that is on my want to read shelf. This one says a book with a title you love, a book with that starts the same letter as. Oh, this was supposed to be two different prompts, but got messed up. It's okay. A book that starts with the same letter as your first name. There's my cat again. A book with mostly purple on the cover. A book that's highly recommended from a source you trust. A book with a book with a character that has the same name as one of your loved ones. Read that, sorry, funny enough, I've already read some books like that before I start with that prompt in them before I started this. A book about social media. Sorry. Oh, read just an ebook. So a book that has no audio is how I'm taking that prompt. That was actually one that I came up with. Um, this one is a book with more vowels than consonants in the title. A book with a color in the title. A book with a one author, with a one author name, one word title. A book with girl, lady, or woman in the title. A book involving a career you wanted as a kid. A book in a series. Mm, TBR Vet. Includes illustrations. A book with a tree on the cover. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so that they stay in my. Okay, this one is. Let me read this one. A book at least 500 pages long. A great. A book with a great first sentence. A book in a trilogy. A book that fits. A book that fits your favorite prompt from another reading challenge. Published before 2015. Read just an audiobook. Use a recommendation service. An autobiography or biography. A book outside your trope outside out outside of your outside of the a book outside your trope comfort zone. I didn't check the 4 extra words before I printed these. I was it was late and I was tired. Um, but I wanted to get it printed so that when someone was able to help me cut them out, I wanted to get them printed and laminated so that when someone was able to help me cut them out, um, they were there. A book with a title that is more than 6 words. Okay, we've got a few here. And owned and and hashtag owned book. Owned voices book. Sorry. Okay, this one says illustrated cover. This one says a book released in the last month. Okay, I'm just okay. Here's this one. New release. Goodreads wreck. A book set during one of your favorite holidays. Um, this one is whoops. A book with a map at the beginning. Um, roll a dice. Read read a book with as many words in the title. Sorry, I'm sorry if it's hard to understand what I'm saying. Or you hear it in my voice. I think I'm starting to get a cold. So, anyway, a book with a title that is 2 words or less. A book that is over 400 pages. I don't know how many more prompts we're going to fit into the jar here, but we'll see. This one says Okay. I have, okay. This one says, Happy Book. Read a sequel. Read, uh, sorry, a book nominated for an award this year. A book that is only available as an ebook. The title begins with W. Sorry. Continue a series. This one says contemporary. I'm trying to keep them from falling, because if they fall, I won't be able to find them later. Read the next book in a series. Intimidating book. Published before 2017. A book with an odd number of pages. A book outside your genre comfort zone. Under 300 pages. A book that won an award last year. A book in a duet. Oh, my mom is back. So, I'm not gonna stop recording. She may come and talk to me for a minute. A book published in 2020. A book under 300 pages. Some of these may be duplicates. When I'm done recording this, I will and have a Ziploc baggie probably by me instead of two bowls or a bowl in my jar. I will go through and put the duplicates in that baggie because sometimes I do keep duplicates because sometimes I lose things. So that's why. Indie published. This okay. This one says, a book you bought because you liked the cover, which is 99% of my books, actually. Okay. Beautiful cover is what this next one says. This one says, recommended. Uh, the title begins with Z. A book with a place in the title. Mom pick. A book that scares you. Number in the title. Published in 2018. Sorry if you hear that, one of my dogs is dreaming and I'm sitting on the couch. So, and she is sitting on the other side of the couch. So if you hear that, that's all that is. Published in, whoops, lost it. Published in 2019. Rom-com. A book published before you were born. Highest rated. Read a book with a pun in the title. A book with a title that starts with a vowel. Booktube rec. So we're book YouTuber here on um, YouTube. If you don't know, we call that side of YouTube booktube. A book published the decade before you were born. A book published last year. A book published the year you were born. 400, over 400 pages. A book with a camera on the cover. The title begins with why. A book that does not start with the. Okay. Start the longest series on your TBR. I do want to tell you guys that I am mainly an ebook and audiobook reader. So when it comes to showing you my shelves or my books, I may show you my Kindle or I may screen record and use Goodreads. A book published on your birthday. Read a good Reads Choice Award book. Read an ebook and audiobook. Read a book with text messages in it. Okay. Random cover. Instagram rec. Treat yourself so I can buy a new book. A book you were gifted by a loved one. A book with mostly red on the cover. A book with letters in it. And when it says that, I know some people are going to try and make a joke that says all books have letters in it. It means the letters that you mail. Blindfold pick. Make sure that I picked up the right one. I did. A book with a name in the title. Sound like a name of a person, I'm guessing. One word title. A book published in 2021. Historical fiction. Cozy mystery. Now I'm gonna try and make sure that I have it lost field. Hmm, I think I have okay. So now we're gonna get into this bowl of prompts and put them into my jar. A book from an author. A book from an author whose name starts with a vowel. A book that has a reading related word in the title. The title begins with C. Okay. C and I can fix this. A book written by a female author or by two or more authors. A book by an author whose last name starts with A, F, with a letter, starts with a letter after M. Sorry, I read that wrong. Let me reread that. A book by an author whose last name starts with a letter after M. Book by an author who has written more than 10 books. Listen to an audiobook. The title begins with a B. My mom's coming in the house, so she may come and talk to me. A book with over 100 chapters. A book with under 100 chapters. Enemies to lovers. A book by an author from your home safe. Hey Mom, Cleo was jiggling the handle while you were gone. What? Okay. A book vote a book voted for by Bookstagram or other group of peoples. Read from an author who blurbed your favorite book. A book by an author with the same last initial as you. That may be a little hard. I'm figuring out. A book by a new to author. Oh, I'm gonna show this one because it is fun for me to read. Please focus. There's that one. And it's not hard for me to read. It's hard for me to read right now. Author's debut. The title begins with a K. New author. A book with a fully natural cover. So all of one color, most likely. A book on the backlist of one of your favorite authors. A book where one of the main characters is bookish. Author, reader, book influencer, etc. A book with multiple POVs. The title begins with a F. a book from an author with a four-letter surname, a book with a character by an author with the same first or last name as you. No one's gonna have the same last name as me, because my last name is Dutch. So, that one will have to go by first name, probably. Which they won't even have it spelled the exact same way I do. A book written by an author with your initials. That's gonna be easier because initials are gonna be easier than my full last name, I bet. Either fiction based on a current event or a non-fiction book. We have quite a few left to go. A book with more than 1 point review, which is the same as multiple POVs, but whatever. Like they said, they probably do have some duplicates, but I like duplicates. Blue cover, um, a sports romance book, a book by a new to you BIPOC author, an audiobook by your favorite narrator. And it says it can be read by the author, a celebrity, or an actor you typically see in movies or TV shows. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. A book with a cover matching the shirt you are wearing. That would be hard because, well, harder for me because I do tend to bulk film. A book with under 25 chapters. Although I don't think I would bulk film these, so you should be good. the title begins with a G. The title begins with an sorry, S. Where but surely this jar is filled with all these problems. Hopefully, a book from an author with a three-letter first name. A book with a subject related to or on current events. Thank goodness I didn't start this year and pull one of those during election month because hopefully that would have been a bummer if I started this last year and got that one during or any of the current events ones during election year because those would have been hard. A book you meant to read last year. That's a pretty big majority in TBR right now. A friend's two lovers romance. I don't even know how many tropes. Because last time when I tried to film this one, it was super dark and hard for me to even see to read these. I counted them and there was like 113, 14. So I don't even want to know right now. A book with under 200 chapters. That seems like it would be a stretch, but in some books it may not be. Um, a book about a long distance relationship. A book with a main character that starts with A, B, or C. Read the last book you saw on Instagram. A book with mountains on the cover. A book written by a male author. Friends to Lovers. A book featuring a protagonist with a disability. Um, a book with a map or compass on the cover. reread an old favorite, a grumpy sunshine romance, a book by a new to you female author, shortest book on your TBR, orange cover, I don't know how well this is gonna allow me to mix them up, so I may just have to dig randomly for prompts with film books, but whatever. Friendship Circle, a book from an author with a disability, a book with mostly pink on the cover, a book with a protagonist that's at least 50 years old, a book with your favorite color on the cover, a book with over 30 chapters, a book with your least favorite color on the cover, a second chance romance, a sports romance. I don't think, I think this one was supposed to be spaced, those two were supposed to be spaced out, but it's okay. It could be a second chance sports romance, is what they meant to say. A book mentioned by your favorite author. Sibling relationship. A book with no people on the cover. Read from read from an author you've never heard of. I've got quite a few left. So the title begins with a A. I'm losing my daylight here. Read a book with your least favorite trope. A book featuring a famous person or character. Yeah, yeah, I've got quite a few of these left still. I keep thinking we're getting further and further down, and we're not. A book by an a book with an unrelatable relatable author, or not author, narrator. A book with an unrelatable narrator. Sorry. Okay. I've got 2 minutes here. The title begins with "Oh." A book featuring your favorite pets, pets or animals. A book with mostly orange on the cover. Marriage of convenience. Some of these are trope prompts. A book with a rainbow on the cover. Let's see this one. A book you meant to read in the last few years. Read the book on your TBR with the longest title. Um, A book with the brightest colored cover. A book you discovered on social media. A book with a non-binary protagonist. A book set in a country you've never been to. Person on the cover. This one is a book about a road trip or a long voyage. A book with under 30 chapters. A book you or your kids loved growing up. I don't have any kids, so it'd be, unless you count my fur babies, so it would just be me, a book I read growing up. A book by one of your favorite authors. A book that's, sorry, sorry, geez, a book that's been on your TBR for over a year. Hand on the cover. A book with food or drink on the cover. A book with the prettiest cover. A book set in Canada. Short book. Animal sidekick. A book written by an author under 30 years old. Red cover. A slow burn romance. Disability wrap. A book with mostly blue on the cover. Whoops, just hit my laptop. So, and that probably shook the camera because I use my camera on my laptop. A, a book with mostly blue on the cover, which I think it's coffee. Which I think I just put in the duplicate, but oh well. Animal on the cover. LGBTQ plus rep. Now now that I'm more about myself, I can read some of these. Oh, well, now that would bug my mom. I guess it bugs. I don't like reading or talking out loud to the camera or to myself when other people are around, because then they start asking me questions. The title begins with a D. A book on your TBR for more than a year. White cover. Some of these I would have to look on because I do have a Kindle Paperwhite, so everything's black and white. So I would have to go on Goodreads or use my Kindle Fire to look at the covers in color. Family Bond. Mm, a popular book that you haven't read yet. A book with stars on the cover. A book with a moon on the cover. Longest book on your TBR. A reread of one of your favorite books. A book you found on TikTok. Um, a book. A book with your favorite color. A book with trees on the cover. A book with a three-word title. A book with under 10 chapters. A Kindle Unlimited book. Okay, we've got a few here. Person on the cover. The title begins with M. A book with a road on the cover. The title begins with R. With a R, sorry. The, whoop, the title begins with a H. We're done with the super long ones. Now we're getting to the shorter ones. The title begins with a Q. A book in translation. The most recent added to your TBR. Strong female characters. Reread a book you read as a kid. The title begins with a P. Water, sorry, water on the cover. Black cover. Favorite new author. Favorite new author. Favorite new. Okay. Favorite author. New to you author. Favorite author that was new to me. I think the wording just needs to be changed on a few of these and I didn't catch it because I was doing this late. A book with under 20 chapters. A book, a backlist book by a favorite author. More than 5 words in the title. Flowers on the cover. A book with a protagonist with a disability. Pink cover. We got yellow cover. The title begins with a U. Green cover. Brown cover. Poll pick. So I'll put a poll up on my Facebook or Instagram, and then you guys pick from those options. Bird on the cover. The title begins with a V. The title begins with T, with a T. Sorry. The title begins with an N. Yeah, with an N. With a N. Sorry. Mm, a book by multiple authors. A book with alternating POVs. A, a weapon on the cover. People of color ramp. The title begins with I. With a I. The title begins with a E. A book older than you. The title begins with L. Black author. And then we're almost done here. I don't know how many are left, but we're getting to the end of it. The title begins with a J. Okay. Author you love. Pick a TBR card. This is one that I came up with that you guys will have to wait and see what that means. Okay, these ones are neat. This one is nature on the cover. Asian author. This one is novella. This one is LGBTQ plus author. Purple cover. And then a reread. That's what this one says. Okay, that's all my prompts. And like I said at the beginning of this video, you guys can leave comments, and prompt suggestions down on my first video that I posted and this video. And then I will take those and add them to my jar. Probably at the every end of every couple months. Bye guys, have a nice day.